That is one big flag. That is one gigantic flag. What is the biggest flag that they could get up there? Because I feel like they could get a lot bigger. You know? Maybe one that is huge. Blocks out the sun. Like that episode of The Simpsons. And we're live. Hello, how are you going? Welcome to Turn15 channel on this ungodly hour of the 19th of October, or the 20th of October, depending on where you are, of 2025, F1 Championship 2025, round 19. We are at COTA, Circuit of the Americas in the United States of America, in the great state of Texas. 56 laps today of the Circuit of the Americas circuit. 5.5 Ks per lap. Should be a fun race. Lovely weather in the US today, well, at least in Texas today. Looks like a fantastic day to go racing. Lovely sunny skies, warm. Heat hazard as well has been declared by the FIA, so cool suits or ballast is going to be on the cars today, so should be fun. Max on pole once again. He's starting to make a habit of this again. What year is it? It feels a bit like 23 or 24 or 22, maybe even 21. Max Verstappen on pole, Lando Norris is second. That is going to be a fun trip into Turn 1. Yesterday was a calamitous trip into Turn 1. Today should be very interesting. Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc and Russell behind them on row 2. Then Hamilton, Oscar Piastri is 6th. That, to me, is the big point of the race. Oscar Piastri, championship leader, is only 6th. What can he get? Now, a podium is definitely not out of the question here. In fact, he's got 56 laps to jump 4 places. Should be doable, but we'll see. Antonelli in 7th, Behrman 8th, Sainz 9th, so great work Carlos Sainz again, following up his heroics in the sprint yesterday, and then Fernando Alonso in 10th, Hulkenberg 11th, Lawson 12th, Tsunoda 13th, had a bit of a tiff with Liam Lawson after qualifying, not happy with him. A lot of people haven't been happy with Liam Lawson, so that'll be interesting to see them starting so close together. Then Pierre Gasly, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Ocon in 17th, Albon in 18th, Stroll starting 19th after a grid penalty for his crashing job into Turn 1 yesterday with Esteban Ocon, and Isaac Hadjar bringing up the rear after a crash in qualifying. Looks like a fun grid, to be honest. Now, the big points of the race, as I said, Piastri starting 6th, while Verstappen and Norris are starting 1 and 2. Now, this is good for the championship. If it finishes like this, then that's a big chunk of points. Verstappen and Norris can both take out of Oscar Piastri as we head into the final 5 rounds of the season. Now, Oscar has a nice handy advantage right now. Both the McLarens have a really great advantage over Verstappen. It's not a lot of time to get it done, is the only thing. There's a lot of talk right now, a lot of hype behind Max Verstappen, and maybe a championship rescue bid here. Can he get it done? He's certainly been getting it done lately. He's fast enough to win. He's probably fast enough to win again today. He's been great all season. Even when it started to go awry, he's been mostly good this year. Lost his head a little bit in Spain, but you know, bygones and all of that stuff. What concerns me is there's only 5 rounds to go after this, so Verstappen, can he get it done? He's going to need a lot of luck, and he's going to basically need both McLarens to crash into each other, maybe for another couple of times to help it out. He's 55 points, I think, down on Oscar Piastri. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, as we've just got the tyre allocations as well. So Leclerc on the softs, so he's going to be looking to get a quick start. Bortoleto on the softs, Stroll on the softs, Ocon, Albon, and Hadjar on the hards. Everybody else on the mediums. So a little bit of strategy variation there. It should be fun. Now we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from lights out. So, what have we got until then? Stroll, grid block, blah, 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 blah. Mario Andretti has had Turn 20 named after him, so lovely, although there was a bit of a fuck up by the organisers there, because they've got a plaque outside of Turn 20 saying that Mario Andretti is the only American F1 World Champion. Of course, that is not true. He wasn't even the first. That was Phil Hill in 1961. So a great big whoopsie there for the organisers. Oh, speaking of the organisers as well, actually a decent weekend for them. COTA has been extended through 2034, I believe I read. That got announced today. So we'll be going back to the Circuit of Americas for quite some time. That'll be, apart from the COVID break, that'll be about 22 years, 23 years since the first race. I remember, well, by the time the contract runs out, I remember when this race first started. I mean, I suppose it wasn't that long ago. It was only 2012, but it was the big thing. This race was another roll of the dice. Can F1 make it in America? Can it crack the American market? That was always the talk back in the early days of the century, and even beyond that, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. It was always, can F1 crack the US? They tried with Long Beach, Watkins Glen, Indianapolis, weird fucking races like Phoenix and Detroit. All of these places that they went to, and it never worked out because the US just did not care overall about Formula One. And now here we are in the year 2025, and the US overall really cares about Formula One. Rather, it's got quite a lot of fans in the US now. So weird times, weird things to see, you know. It's crazy where life goes. I mean, even Nico Hulkenberg, who we're looking at right now on the grid lineup, even he got a podium. Sure is a weird time to be alive. A very weird time to be alive. And things will only get weirder. Speaking of weird, FIA presidential candidacy, it's over. The presidential run, done. Mohammed bin Sulayem is being re-elected by default. So he's had two challenges come up. Son of Teddy Meyer, I think, and some woman racer as well, who I think I remember discussing was just a total no-hoper of a candidate, and just kind of confusing why the fuck she would even put her hand up for it. Well, that presidential race isn't even going to happen because of a quirk in the nominations, the voting scheme, I guess you could call it. Sold out attendance. See, this is what I'm talking about. The US market has been cracked. A sold out attendance, and this is more than a decade after this race first started. Fantastic. It's good to see. It's good for F1. Not good for my sleeping, but definitely good for Formula One. FIA presidential race, because of a quirk in the nomination system, means that it's over by default now, and we're not even going to have any challenges. It's just going to be Mohammed bin Sulayem again. Which is, I think, calamitous, a total fucking shit show. But, you know, we'll see what he does at the helm, because it's been contentious, to say the least. And so that's probably his main legacy, a whole bunch of contention. Now that looks like is that a fucking Longhorn trophy? That actually looks pretty awesome. You know, I think that's at least very interesting. The trophies have been overall quite interesting this year. It's awful when you just get like a Heineken star or some total dog shit like that, you know. It doesn't look like an F1 trophy. It just looks like a whole lot of nothing. So, I mean, at least that's something there. So 2 lights on the grid. All the mechanics are starting to leave. The formation lap is about to get underway. Ooh. So we are close to getting the fuck on with the race. Here we go. The formation lap should be starting right now. And there they go. Max Verstappen pulls away. Lando Norris follows him. The Ferraris, Mercedes, Piastri. Looks like everybody's getting away just fine. So, with about 2 minutes to go till race start, what else have we got? Alex Palou versus McLaren is very, very interesting. IndyCar driver who did a bit of an Oscar Piastri the same year that Oscar Piastri did it, just saying, actually, I won't be driving for McLaren in IndyCar, is facing a $20 million lawsuit now from Zach Brown and McLaren, who say that him reneging on that deal has cost them, at the very least, $20 million US, as far as sponsorship and things like that sort of go. So, from what I've read so far, Alex basically just said, you know what, I'm not feeling the deal anymore, which you can't really do with a contract. Yes, hello. You can't really do that with a contract. I love it. You know the race is starting because this little guy comes in and makes noise. Hello. Come on. Anyway. Alex, you cannot just sort of walk out on a contract that you signed like that just because you're not feeling it anymore. To be honest, that's kind of not how these things work. So from what I see, it's just going to be mostly how much money will he end up owing, which I get the feeling is going to be quite a lot, actually. Oh, hello. Now, what else is happening as they're making their way around near the end of the formation lap? Only a couple of corners to go. Stefano Domenicali's been talking all sorts of crazy shit about history doesn't really matter in Formula One because a lot of the kids these days, they can't even tell you who won a race last year. So historical precedence does not mean that a race is guaranteed on a calendar or some things like that. It's interesting. It's not often that you see the head of the FIA shitting on the history of the sport as much as he does. Let's just... There we go. I think Domenicali is starting to... yes, I know. Starting to show all the qualities that he had that helped Ferrari sink about a decade and a half ago. He's like old Yeller to me. He needs to get going. Yes, hello. Do you want to sit here? So Max, Norris, Leclerc pulling up to their grid spot. We should be ready to go very soon. Hello. And this is Lance Stroll and Isaac Hadjar coming around the final corner. So we're almost ready to go here. Now, anything else? Domenicali needs to go, I think. And Ferrari have also come out publicly backing Fred Vasseur. There's a lot of rumours that Christian Horner might be looking to come back into F1 through Ferrari. That maybe that Ferrari itself wants Christian Horner to take over and get the team righted. I don't think Fred Vasseur is even the biggest problem at this team. I think the entire team culture is fucked, to be honest. Here we go. Green flag. That's 3 lights. 4. And we're out. Okay, decent start again from Max. Decent start-ish from Norris. Good start from the Ferrari behind him, though. Now, Norris is going to keep it tight. That's going to be very, very tight between Norris and the Ferrari. Ferrari's going to get blocked off by the Red Bull, but he should be able to make it through. And he does. Lando Norris down to 3rd. Oscar Piastri up to 5th. Oh, the Ferrari's going... Oh, I had just a little looker with the Red Bull as well. Very ambitious. A little bit of side-by-side in the back. Lando, buddy, you really needed a better start than that. My goodness. A little bit of a squeeze there between the Sauber, the Haas, and the Alpine at the back as well. Is that a Williams that's sunk as well? Albon down to 19th. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, George Russell's had a fucking rubbish start, then down to 6th. My goodness. Verstappen already starting to gap. There's a lot of really big, congested stopping points in this track. Oh, double waved yellow. Who is this? Alex Albon. Okay, so something's happened to Albon then. Something's happened to the timing screen as well. Let's see if I can relaunch this thing again. I love it. I love that this thing just tends to break every single week. They never used to do that. It's only a couple of months ago it started to do that. As Oscar Piastri goes defensive against Russell. Easy. Easy peasy. Keeps hold of it. You know, I think the live timing's fucked, so well done F1. Good stuff again. Either way, I'll just read it off the TV, shall I? So, Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton... Not Piastri, sorry. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli is your top 7. Behrman has kept on to 8. Sainz and Tsunoda up to 10th, so decent start from Yuki. Alonso down to 12th, so not great for the Aston Martin. And what in the world has happened to Alex Albon? Aha, okay. Good work. Carlos Sainz passed the heart of Behrman. Well done, Carlos. He's feeling it this week. Absolutely on it. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Albon into Bortoletto, and he's gone around. That's what happened there. I'm sure we'll see a replay of that soon. Tsunoda on the inside of Behrman. Oi oi. Not like that, you sicko. And takes 9th place. So Behrman's starting to sink here. That's 2 places in a lap. That's not great. As Esteban Ocon gets past Stroll, keep an eye on them as well. Lance absolutely sending it when he really shouldn't have yesterday. Just clattering into the Haas and totally fucking him. Oh, that's Lando and Charles Leclerc. Very close into the hairpin. Oh, side by side out of it. Now, I mean, kind of no shit territory here, but Norris really needs to clear Leclerc. I think getting done by Leclerc in a turn 1 was absolutely not what Norris needed. He needed to take first place, especially with Piastri down there in 5th. No further investigation between Bortoletto and Albon. I need to see a replay of that because I didn't see that at all. At the back there. Look at Verstappen already starting to pull out a gap. He's feeling it. He's really feeling it. That car has just... the new floor that they put on that car has just absolutely made it come alive again. I tell you, Charles Leclerc, if Lewis Hamilton could jump Norris as well, that would be absolutely brilliant for Max Verstappen. He really needs the Mercedes to come into this as well. I mean, Verstappen, it's great that the car's quick, but he desperately needs McLaren to not finish another race or two. Really, really, really needs it because 55 points, more than 2 wins. We've got 5 races left, 2 more sprints as well, which helps, but that basically means absolutely no room for mistakes out of Max Verstappen at all for the rest of the year. He can't have a mistake. Norris goes side by side with Leclerc, cannot get it done. Oh, yeah, it's going to be easy for Leclerc to hold on there. Oh, then again, Norris is feeling it. You can see how much quicker that McLaren is than the Ferrari. There we go. There's just kind of nowhere really to stick a nose up in this part of the track. Oh, Lando is feeling it. He's feeling it. That's very wide. I think he's just trying to do the switch back out of turn 1, but it's not going to work there. Yeah, look at Max Verstappen now, 3.5 seconds. This helps Max as well. Like, the longer that Norris spends behind Leclerc fucking around, playing with his cock, then it's great for Max Verstappen. He could just romp off into the distance. In fact, already I'm thinking, unless Norris can get by Leclerc like right now and start chasing after Max, I think it could almost be over already. What are we on, lap 5 now? Not lap 4, we're on lap 5. Halfway around lap 5 as well. Oh, Norris. He's going to have to send it. He's really going to have to just send it into the hairpin at the end of the back straight. He's going to have to fucking send it on Leclerc or he's not going to get by. Now, he needs to do it quicker. He's going to end up melting those tyres. Now, the good thing for Lando is Leclerc is on the softs, so he should be able to get by. Like, the grip differential is going to become very pronounced soon. The softs are great, but they're not going to be great for long. Norris on the medium, Hamilton on the medium, so I can't imagine that Leclerc is going to be there for that long. .7, 2.6 seconds. So Verstappen's actually backed up a little bit there. Almost half a second in the last lap. So I wondered if Red Bull's been on the blower to Max, just telling him just take it easy. Max was complaining about the balance of the car yesterday in race trim. Okay, here we go. Replay of the start. So it's a rubbish start out of Lewis Hamilton, actually. But he's going to come out of it okay. Zidane just gone wide. And yeah, look at that. Mercedes, I think, had a little bit of contact between each other into turn 1. Everyone just kind of files through. We're going to see Alex Albon. Oh, Kimi Antonelli's gone around. That's a bit of debris on there as well. Now, what in the world's gone on there? Now, he was close with George Russell. Who was near him as well? Carlos Sainz. Oh, I wonder if he's been tipped around. Ah, that's a great shame out of Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, the Mercedes did have a little bit of contact, and that looks like a Williams. Is that Carlos Sainz? It is. It's Carlos fucking Sainz. God damn it. Ah, bastard. You know, I woke up very, very early for this. You bastard. Yeah, so look at that. Telltale signs of contact. The front right side of Carlos Sainz's car. I get the feeling Carlos has sent it, and it's just not. It's not worked. Safety car, virtual safety car. All right. VSC lap 7, not 6. Where is it? Not 6, lap 7. Let's while we're on a VSC, maybe I can relaunch this. See if it actually works. F1 live timing. I'm telling you. I don't know if you'll follow this shit at home, but F1 live timing. Oh, here we go. Carlos Sainz is going to send it, and it's just not going to happen. Yep. That's quite a bit of contact there, and Antonelli actually just backs it into the wall there. Yeah, nah. Okay. So Antonelli, I don't think really realised that Carlos was going to have a go there, and I mean, to be fair, I don't think Carlos really should have had a go there. Wasn't going to work. Yeah. Ah, Carlos, come on. Okay, so that'll be, I'm guessing... Yeah, bam. Just didn't work. That's going to be a grid drop. Antonelli turned in there at the end. Yeah, because there was a corner there, Carlos. Come on, mate. It's the craziest thing. Like, these cars need to turn when there's a corner. It's very strange. Oh, well. Carlos doing the lonely walk back to the pits. It's a shame. He was on it. He was on it, and there was a good chance at more points today for him. So not great for Williams. Albon's right at the back. They're going to need to do something here. In fact, here he is, Alex Albon, right on cue. Let's try this again. Now, what is this? Okay, so this is a replay. Albon. Oh. Okay, so Albon did the dive, made contact with Bortoletto, and went around. Who did that last year? Ollie Behrman in Brazil, I think. Yeah, Ollie Behrman in Brazil last year did the same thing. Went for a move, made contact, and ended up going around himself, despite being the car at the back. Now, what is it? Championship points as they run, so Max, getting closer. 40 points. I mean, Max is going to be praying Ferrari gives him a favour here. It's certainly done him a favour so far. Yeah, might just give up on live timing here today. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's just F1 servers are total dog shit, because it tends to work just fine until the race starts, and then it just chugs like a 2001 BAR. Alright, VSC ending, and there it is. We're back to racing. So here we go, restart on lap 9. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, Behrman, Hulkenberg, and Alonso is the top 10. The investigation after race, Anthony looks like that'll be a grid drop. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, an incident like that. So Verstappen, 2.5 seconds, Leclerc, nearly 2 seconds Norris, so he's totally missed that restart. Then Hamilton 1 behind, Piastri 1.5. Pretty decent gaps, it looks like, between everybody. It looks like Alonso's got a little bit of a train behind him. Everybody else is just kind of gapping right now. So starting lap 10, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri is still your top 5. Now, it's just sort of in that like bedding in phase now. If the race is a cake, then right now it is baking in the oven. We'll get to eat it soon. About lap 40 is when generally on this track the cake is ready to eat and we can all start enjoying it. Stroll up to 15th, so Stroll's actually had a pretty decent start. He tends to do that, Lance Stroll. He tends to have decent starts of races. As much as people want to clown on him completely. Concern about front left, doesn't look or feel great, says Piastri. So, yeah, it's a hot day. These Pirellis aren't going to last that long. As much as we all like to, well, not me particularly, but as much as everyone likes to clown on Lance Stroll, one thing that never gets brought up, his race starts are generally pretty fucking decent. If you don't believe me, you know, just keep an eye on the kid. He generally goes ahead. It's generally he'll go ahead like 3, 4, 5 places sometimes. It's fucking crazy. I mean, he's been helped out by Antonelli, Albon going around. Antonelli, Science has given him a few, but he doesn't tend to like sink all that much off of race starts. Generally, he'll find 3 or 4 places all by himself. It's actually one of his strengths, which I never see getting brought up. Norris getting told it's more like Plan B. That's because he can't get by the Ferrari. So. Oh, there's Lance Stroll as well, trying to have a go at Colapinto. Oh, careful there, buddy. You fucked that one up, mate. You'll get some Argies on your back. And they don't fuck around. Right. Lap 11, so we're about 20% of the way through the race. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri is still the top 5, and then Russell just hanging on to in 6th, Tsunoda in 7th. Kind of disappointed in Mercedes so far this weekend. They haven't looked that great, and also, actually that's probably the biggest bit of news that I could have touched on. Mercedes has confirmed George Russell and Kimi Antonelli are staying with them next year. Kind of a foregone conclusion, I think. After their flirting with Max, kind of just went nowhere, and he was like, you know, that's okay, but I'll stay with my team. I'll stay with Red Bull into next year, and who knows beyond that. I mean, he's contracted through I think 2028 with Red Bull, but there's certain clauses that let him break that contract. That clause was not met this year. Everyone thought that it's if he's not in the top 3 of the championship, and he was 3rd. Quite a ways behind the McLaren boys, but he was 3rd going into the summer break, which basically meant no moving next year. So after that, that's when Mercedes said, well, okay, I guess we've still got George and Antonelli. Maybe we'll sort it out with them. It's interesting the language they used when they confirmed that Russell and Antonelli would be staying next year. They just said continuing on with us, not have signed multi-year deals or long-term deals or even have signed a 1-year deal. It's just continuing into 2026, which to me, I don't know, there's it doesn't seem like they're all that, it doesn't seem like Mercedes is all that stoked with their drivers. They say that they are. Toto Wolff says that he's very happy with Russell and he's very happy with Antonelli, and he should be. I mean, Antonelli's had a bit of a baptism of fire this year, but there is a lot of potential there. There is a lot of potential. And Russell, I think, is having the season of his career so far. He's been fantastic. This is Stroll on Colapinto. Lance is fucking feeling it today. Look at that. Dives down the inside and gets to cover off Colapinto into turn 2. Good. Yeah, good move. Good move. So Lance is feeling it. How about that? Generally on race days, Lance will turn up maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and it looks like this is one of them. What was I saying? Yeah, Mercedes. Russell's having the season of his career. I think they should absolutely be happy with what they've got. Mercedes, that is. They really, really should be happy with what they got, because I think that they have one of the strongest driver lineups in the sport, which again is a little bit of like no shit, but I feel like I'm just never going to quite get back on terms with this live timing. It's lap 13, by the way. It's not lap 11. So you know what? I'm just going to give up on that. Maybe next time, Gadget. Maybe next time. So yeah, Haas is having a bit of a... I mean, Behrman in 8th is great for him, but Ocon's having not a great weekend at Haas's home race. And here we go, Leclerc. So lap 13, going to lap 14, Leclerc still Still staying ahead of Lando Norris. Looks like those softs are holding on. Bortoleto, Stroll as well on the softs, also making... Piastri seems slow, says Russell. Struggling with the front left is the reply. So the softs are kind of holding on here. Now, Lance is making them work. Leclerc's definitely making his work. The good thing for Leclerc is he's got 4.5 seconds to Verstappen, which generally isn't great news, but those soft tyres are going to be loving all of that free air ahead of him. So, at the very least, he's got that. I tell you, Charles Leclerc loves this track as well. He turned up here last year. Got the win done as well. Now Leclerc reporting track limits for Norris. You would have seen that in his mirror too. You cheeky bastard. All part of the game. What can you say? It's all part of the game. Yeah, you can see a band. Oh, look at Norris just struggling with that car right now. No wonder he's hitting the track limits. Struggling a little bit with the turn in there. 5 seconds now Verstappen to Leclerc, so I'd say that's already over. Norris half a second back. Desperately needs this. Desperately needs this position. Piastri's dropped 4 seconds off the back of Lewis Hamilton. What the fuck is going on with Oscar? Not had a podium since Monza. Not even really looked like bothering the podium since Monza either. He's just... Bortoletto's in the pits, so that's one. That's the first of the soft runners who has finally said enough's enough. Actually, look at Leclerc's tyres. Good grief. They're really starting to fall apart. So, Bortoletto in the pit, so that's one soft runner's done. Stroll's kept going. Leclerc is obviously still going. Here comes Lando Norris. I think the softs might be near the end of their life. Norris, you're not going to get it done from there. You have to fucking send it. Have to send it. Look at the grip that he's got around the outside. Surely he's not going to get the room. Oh, Lando, I don't know about that. He's just shadowing him, isn't he? It's just bothering him. Still not going to be able to get it done, but I think Lando, he's not going to be able to get it done from the outside like that. Not in that corner sequence. He needs to just send it up the inside. Really, really needs to do that. The thing is, Lando has the most to lose out of both of these guys by a margin. DRS open. On the main straight. Not going to get it done into turn 1 at all. I'm interested to see what the fuck's going on with Piastri though. He was complaining about no grip on his tyres, but 4 seconds. You got one McLaren bothering a Ferrari ahead of it, and the other one's dropped 4 seconds behind. I mean, that was the biggest thing about Oscar Piastri last year, was his consistency. He was super quick, uncatchable in some races. Got a couple of really good wins last year. But then in other races, he was just totally fucking nowhere. It's why kind of everyone just assumed that Lando Norris would have the upper hand and was probably going to be champion this year, because Oscar just didn't look like he had it. Not that he didn't have it entirely, but just didn't have it yet. I mean, he's been fantastic this year, leading the championship, deservedly leading the championship. He's been mostly unflappable, but it just hasn't quite been working out lately. It's great for Max Verstappen. Absolutely fantastic for Max Verstappen. That's a big, big chunk of points. You're right there, mate. So Antonelli now at the right on the back of Isaac Hadjar here, so he's got a lot of work to do today, and God knows what science has done to that Mercedes as well in that collision. Can't imagine it's feeling 100%. Yeah, Verstappen 6.5 seconds. I think it's only lap 17, but I feel like it's probably over already. I think the best McLaren can hope for now is just consolidating second place for Lando Norris. Get him ahead of Leclerc and then just pray something can happen from there. Look at Lando, just cannot get it done. Leclerc, he's driving out of his skin right now. He's doing fantastic. I mean, for my money, I didn't think that we would still see Leclerc ahead of that McLaren 17 laps into the race. He can get close, especially in the twisty bits near the end of the lap. He can get close, just not quite close enough. Oh, Antonelli down the inside of Hadjar. Should get that move done. Easy. Good stuff. There's Norris taking the wider line into turn 1 again. It's just not quite working out for him. He's had a bit... I feel like we've done this a few times this year with Lando Norris, where just the wheel-to-wheel stuff just isn't fantastic. Like he tends to try the same moves over and over. I mean, he's hassling Leclerc. He's definitely letting him know that he's there. Leclerc's losing time to Verstappen, which I think is more to do with Leclerc being bothered than Verstappen really putting the foot down right now. Not close enough to send it this lap either for Lando. I feel like we've done this a few times this year. Lando's just struggling to get by a car that McLaren is clearly faster than. It's certainly not like Leclerc can dump like a second or 2 seconds or something on him here. Like, he's really... Those soft tyres are struggling as well, so... I would have thought Lando could have been by him by now, but... I mean, full respect to Leclerc, he's great at this stuff. He's very, very good at this. He's a very quick driver. I would say, in terms of out and out, one lap pace, I'd say he is the quickest on the grid. And I get the feeling maybe Lando's just conceded that maybe it's not going to happen without a big mistake from Leclerc, which, to be fair, he did yesterday. Although I'd say Leclerc's probably learnt from that. You'd fucking hope so, at least. Either way, lap 19, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, so the top 6 has not changed. Tsunoda in 7th. It's kind of doing his own thing back there. Behrman, Hulkenberg, and Alonso, that's the top 10. Not a lot of passing going on so far, to be honest. Oh, look at that front left on the McLaren. That's... Here we go. Lando... Again, around the outside. It's just not going to be able to get it done, though. And again, he goes for the outside. Oh, can he get it done? It's very dangerous being out there. No, Leclerc shoves him our way. Yeah, good move from Charles Leclerc there. Lando Norris, he's going to have to just send it to the inside. He's just going to have to tuck as far in as he can to the inside and then just send it. Maybe try to shove Leclerc wide. The thing is, Charles knows that Lando has a lot to lose here. Potentially he's got the most to lose definitely out of these two, but I mean, he's trying as hard as he can to eat into a championship lead as well, and it's just not going to work out. Okay. McLaren telling Lando Norris to pit. The undercut's probably the only way they're genuinely going to be able to get by him here. Now, are they just trying to bluff Ferrari into pitting ahead of him? It could happen. Could happen because 36 laps onto the hard tyre at the end. Lando will be struggling with that. I can't imagine McLaren genuinely want to do this yet. Stroll makes another place. The fuck's going on with Lance Stroll? He's so quick today. And he's on the softs too. 20 laps into the race. Here's Lando. Look at the closing speed. Inside, buddy. You need to send it to the inside. Just not going to be able to send it anywhere this time. It's just not working out. I wonder. I think McLaren should pit. Ideally, Leclerc would just pit and release Lando Norris. I think that's all they want. Yeah, and he stays out. Oh, Antonelli's making a move. Looks like on Ocon, and he gets it done. So Antonelli up another place. Lando Norris still looking at the back of Charles Leclerc, who's now 9.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen, so that's over. Lando Norris as well, right at the edge of track limits here. So he cannot do any more outside moves. Like, that shit's just totally for the birds. It's done. Black and white flag for Lando Norris from race control, yeah, so he's getting boxed here. Like, Charles Leclerc's just totally fucking with him. He is close this time though, into the back straight, very, very close with the DRS. Surely this time he'll get it done. Surely this time he'll get it done. Just go to the inside. He's going to force him to the outside again, Charles Leclerc. Is he going to be able to stay ahead? No. Lando Norris finally gets ahead. There we go. 21 laps into the race and Norris is back where he started. Well, this helps. I can imagine maybe Ferrari will switch their drivers now. Ooh, Charles Leclerc almost coming back at him. I wonder if Ferrari will want to switch Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Because Lewis has kept up with these two. Yeah, Lando being told about his track limits there. And Leclerc still goes as well. I would have thought that maybe Ferrari would get him off of those softs once he's been passed, but well, we'll see, because it looked like even on the onboard shots, it looked like Leclerc had no rear tyres left. In fact, you can see them from here. They're totally fucked. So again, this is good news for Verstappen. It's good news for Norris. I think Norris would rather he were leading, of course. Ooh, okay, see you. It's good news for the top two here because Oscar Piastri is still down in 5th place and he's still about 4 seconds off the back of Lewis Hamilton, who is going to be side by side with Leclerc here. Charles not helping him out here. Oh, gonna squeeze him as well to the outside. Is this really what Ferrari needs here? Lewis, oh, that's very close. Very close to the inside there. Yeah, not going to get it done this time, Lewis. Box box is the call to Leclerc. So they finally want... If... Just... It's kind of Ferrari through and through there. They were going to box Leclerc at the end of the lap. Why not tell him to just let Hamilton by then? Just be like, you're pitting, so let Hamilton go. They've just they've lost time here. What is that? It's an okay-ish stop. Yeah, 2.3 seconds for Leclerc. Kind of bog standard by today's standards. And Leclerc is going to make it out ahead of Fernando Alonso, so at least there's that. So, looks like Stroll's the only one left riding on the softs. You know, I'm kind of liking the Ferrari strategy here. Softs onto mediums. He's going to be able to carry those mediums through the rest of the race. Unless Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, etc. are going to go to the softs and extend this stint as long as they can. I don't think anybody wants to go on the hards here. Oh, here we go. Kimi Antonelli on the inside of Bortoletto. Gets it done, no problem. And up to 14th, so let's see if Kimi can get a point or two by the end of this race. Unlucky, really unlucky. It could have been up there in 6th place right now. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame for Kimi, but you know, it's happened sometimes. Sometimes you just end up getting Carlos Sainz tipping you around. It's happened to the best of us. So now, the thing to watch, I think, here is Verstappen and Norris. What is the gap? Can Norris do anything about Verstappen? Because he spent so bloody long behind the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. So long! It kind of comes down to the start. I was saying before the race starts, crucial. It's crucial for today. Could be crucial for the championship as well. And Norris has not got it done again. You know, just on the face of it, I think Norris has probably been the weaker of the two McLaren drivers this year. I don't think it's nearly as one-sided as people have been saying. I think they are very close. If not for Norris's engine blow up at Zandvoort, he would be leading the championship. So, well, would he be leading the championship? I think he would be, because Piastri put 25 points on him that day instead of what would have been 7. Could either be leading or very, very close in the title fight. Very, very close. So it's been a lot closer, I think, than a lot of people have been saying. But in terms of just what I've seen out of all of the drivers, I think if we're going for who is the most worthy, deserving champion, not by points, but just by what you see every week, I'd say maybe Max Verstappen. I mean, Max has, for the most part this year, just been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, here's Ocon. Looks like he's just gone into the pits. Ocon pits with the hards as well. Huh. So Ocon comes out dead last, which makes a lot of sense because he pitted from, what was he, 16th, 17th? And onto the mediums. Interesting that he would start on the hards and then just do what looks like just a regular medium stint. Live timing looks like it's completely given up. We're on lap 26, by the way. Not lap 56. Not lap 56. We're on lap 26, not lap 22, whatever the fuck the live timing was stuck on. Ah, God bless it. Thank you, F1. Very cool. Yeah. Alright. Lap 23, huh? No, not so. Lap 26. Now, while we're in this little bit of a... I don't want to say a lull, just while the cake's in the oven. Something I want to get off my chest. Stefano Domenicali as the boss of F1, I think is just... I don't like it. I don't like it. He seems more interested in which celebrities he can meet every week than actually doing anything decent for Formula One. I think a lot of the foundation, what Liberty Media has achieved with the sport, and they have achieved a lot, to be honest. I mean, it's never been as popular as it is right now. Oh, there's Charles Leclerc on Hulkenberg. Easy pass. Like the Harmar Superstar, that's an easy pass. Charles Leclerc up to 8. When Domenicali starts talking shit about... I don't know where he's coming from. Every now and then you would hear back in the day, like Bernie Ecclestone say something kind of ridiculous. And the point is that he is just trying to shape public discourse. He says, oh, that's Albon, very close. Very, very close with the Alpine. And he's just going to nudge ahead. Is he going to stay ahead? No, Colapinto. That's very close. That's very, very close there. My goodness. Oh, wow. I thought they almost went into each other. I suppose they did almost go into each other. God, there couldn't have been more than like half an inch between the front wing and the rear of that Alpine. That is just... Oh, God, that's very close. Either way, Verstappen tyres are becoming tricky, indeed. I mean, it's hot. It's very, very hot in Texas. I can't imagine those Pirellis going to last all that much longer now. This is a replay. Look how close. I think there might have been just a tiny little scrape between front and rear of the Williams and the Alpine. God, it does not get closer than that. It doesn't get closer than that without damage. That was fantastic driving out of both of them. Albon, Colapinto, well done. Good stuff. I have been sports entertained. Well done. Fantastic stuff. Well done. Colapinto, by the way, looks more and more like he's going to stay in that seat, not just for the rest of the year, but for next year as well. There was a very rough start to life at Alpine. He still hasn't scored a point yet either, but, you know, that car is in last place in the Constructors' Championship for a reason. It's a pig. It's a great big pig of a car. Not a lot you can really do with that. Look at the fucking crowd. I know it's a sellout, but my goodness, just look at the sheer amount of people. This race has been in the US for more than a decade, and it still has this much interest. You never used to see this back in the day. Never. Like, F1 was always a very niche thing in the United States. They've already got NASCAR, Gasly in the pits. They've already got NASCAR. They've already got IndyCar, Speedway. You know, they've got all of their own things. It's like why they're so obsessed with American football, and they don't give a shit about soccer or anything else. Like, especially foreign leagues, they don't give a crap about that there because they already have their own thing. So it's very rare that you get something from outside become as popular as it is. There's Charles Leclerc on Ollie Behrman. Can't imagine Behrman's going to give him too much trouble there, and he doesn't. Just lets him right on through. It's Leclerc Clever by Behrman. There's no point forcing the issue with a car that you're never going to end up keeping behind you anyway. You know, it might even just, where are we? Lap count. Yeah, get out of there. Doesn't need to be done anymore because it is not lap 23, it's lap 29, and live timing is truly giving up the ghost here. I tell you, Leclerc's still in the pits apparently, according to live timing. Oh, there we go, lap 26. So it's getting closer, maybe. Lap 26. What can you do? That's their fun. I suppose that's the part that Liberty and Domenicali and whatnot need to take care of there. They need to go, hey, our live timing fucking sucks. What's going on with that? It never used to suck. In fact, it was very reliable for a time. And now it just shits itself constantly. Like a fucking diarrhea convention. Non-stop shitting all over the place. There's Leclerc on Yuki Tsunoda. Now what's Yuki going to do? Red Bull need Yuki to do him a favour. Oh, Leclerc's just got so much more grip though around the outside. It's very tight there. But Leclerc's through. See, that's what Lando was trying to do all this time and he just didn't have the speed to do it. Good stuff, good stuff. Now, what was I talking about? Domenicali, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like his track record at Ferrari. Oh, Yuki in the pits. I didn't like his track record at Ferrari. I don't think Ferrari liked his track record either because they sacked him. He seems infatuated with getting to meet all of these Hollywood stars and whatnot, which I guess he never thought he would meet in his life, so he's loving that. 3.4 seconds stop for Tsunoda. That's awful. Jesus. No favours from Red Bull there. But when he starts saying things like, hey, kids these days, they don't even know who won the race last year, so, you know, it's not like the history of the sport even matters, rather than, you know, lamenting short attention spans or things like that. So, Radio Piastri, just asking what he wants to do strategy-wise. He's got George Russell right up his ass, and he's 5.5 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, so it's just not working out for Piastri today. Hasn't been that happy with the car this week, but it's brutal. It's brutal to see. But when I see Domenicali talking things about, and I know it's not just him, it's kind of Liberty media at large, but when I hear him saying things like, yeah, history doesn't really matter, that's fine. I mean, okay, stop exhuming it and Senna every year and using that historical shit to promote your current sport, because I find it quite morbid, to be honest. And you know, in that case, like, why does the history of any of this sort of shit matter? Why revere any of the champions? Like, of course the history matters. Of course it matters. I don't think you have to be, like, tied down and stuck and mired in your old ways, you know. I think actually F1's done a pretty decent job as Piastri comes out of the pits. It's a decent enough stop. Behrman as well in the pits. Alonso in the pits, Lawson in the pits, so it's starting to all go off here on lap 31. So I always want to try to make a point about something that things start happening in these races, I've noticed. Maybe I should just start doing that more. It's like an incantation. I can just create action. Now, what is this? George Russell going very wide. Very, very wide at turn 12. Look at it just bouncing into the braking area there. Oh, doesn't look like the... doesn't really look like the funnest thing to drive there. Just look at that thing. It's so stiff over the bumps. Just quietly, Hulkenberg's having a nice race, isn't he? In 6th place right now on lap 32 is Lewis Hamilton into the pits. Here we go, and Lando Norris is still on the track. Not only is Lando Norris still on the track, and onto the softs. Actually, I do like the... It's 24 laps to go on the soft tyres, which is quite a lot, because the track is getting hotter and hotter. It's rubbering in, which is great. It's never going to have more grip than it will for the next few laps till the end of the race, which helps the soft tyre because it's got, you know, more rubber on the track to grip onto. It means that the track as well is less abrasive, so it will be kinder to the tyres. The cars are going to be very light on fuel, well, a lot lighter on fuel, which means there's not as much weight, so there's not as much force being put through the tyres in the corners, which helps them last as well. Helps them go quicker. Yeah, and look at that. Hamilton as well, crucially, is still 3.5 seconds ahead of Piastri, so Piastri hasn't gone fucking anywhere. Has not gone anywhere. In fact, it looks like Hamilton, Piastri, Tsunoda, Behrman have all pitted. Oh, boxer slap is the call to Lando Norris, and here he is into the pits. So there's been no movement. Oh, that's a slow stop as well. It didn't look that quick. 3.8 seconds for Lando Norris. So, again, a bad stop out of McLaren again. And there goes Charles Leclerc on the track. Fucking hell. Now, for box is the call to Max Verstappen, so he'll be pitting too. Now, McLaren have said they're not going to have a fix for their dodgy pit stops until the end of the year, which means something fundamentally in the design is fucked. Who was it last year? I think not Alpine. It was Alfa Romeo Sauber. I suppose it would have been Kick Sauber last year, wasn't it? It's not Alfa Romeo. They had dodgy pit stops. Basically, they just the design of the wheel nut or the wheel assembly, or that's a big lockup for Lando Norris. Oh, but he keeps it on the track. He cannot do. Yeah, he just basically has to do that now. He cannot run wide anymore. Not with a black and white flag for track limits hanging over him. Max Verstappen sideways into the pits. Light him up. Looks like an okay stop for Red Bull, 2.6 seconds. That is definitely a pit stop. Now, George Russell is on the track, and he's going to come into the pits as well. So that is the last of the front runners who is yet to pit. Of course, Hulkenberg is still on track and hasn't pitted yet, but he will soon. I can imagine he'll do it in the next lap or two. In fact, there he goes into the pits. So that'll be pretty much all at the top 10, I think, who have pitted. So, after all of that shuffle, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri in 5th. Russell should stay in 6th, and yes he does. And Tsunoda should be getting by Hulkenberg for 7th. Behrman will follow him through to 8th, so Hulkenberg comes out 9th. And look at that. The big winner so far has been Alex Albon. He pitted very early, so he's definitely going to have to pit again. I can't imagine he'll be running that to the end of the race. So, lap 34, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, as we were. Behrman. So nobody's really made anything work here. Leclerc got his position back on Lando Norris, which is great for him. Ollie Behrman hassling Yuki Tsunoda here. And it's Tsunoda's tyres all... Oh, that's very close by Behrman. Oh, he's going to go around. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I thought he was going to go right in the back of Yuki there. Yeah, big... Well, that's a big mistake out of Ollie Behrman there. Big mistake. I was just about to say, Yuki Tsunoda's tyres already look completely fucked. Wow. Yeah. Bit of a learning moment there for Ollie Behrman. Almost went right up the backside of Yuki Tsunoda. Okay, here's the replays. So, going through the twisty bits. Oh, he's been a little bit squeezed. Okay, Behrman will say he's kind of been squeezed off a track there, but... now, here we go. So, Behrman... He's gone for the inside. I just don't think it was... Moved under braking. Says Behrman on his radio. Oh, I think Tsunoda's just trying to keep it tight. Yeah, I don't know. I think the pass was never on there, to be honest. It's not really a place that you see anybody do a lot of passing there. I mean, it's really tight, twisty part of the track. You can definitely chuck a car up the inside there. I mean, maybe it'll work. Didn't this time, but... Can't blame Behrman for trying, but definitely didn't work this time. And Hulkenberg has ended up getting by Ollie Behrman as well. So forget taking 7th, he's actually fallen back to 9th. Not great. Lap 36 then, so 20 laps to go. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, Hulk, Behrman, Albon. Now what have we got down here? Ocon on the inside of Bortoletto. Can he get that done? Looks like he's done it. Ocon up to 14th. Good work, Esteban. And still Carlos Sainz, the only retirement of the race now. His replay, Lando Norris. Is this going to be a stuck wheel knot? Yep. Front right. This is just like Sauber had. I think it was last year, was it the year before that? It's just like Sauber had, when there was just something fundamentally wrong with the design of the car. It meant that they just couldn't get the pit stops fixed. Not until a major redesign, and there are no major redesigns left on the McLaren. They're just basically running whatever they've got for the rest of the year. In fact, I think pretty much every car is doing that now. I know Haas turned up with a couple of new bits on their car this weekend, but everybody else is just basically, this is it until the rule reset next year. So Leclerc 6.7 behind Verstappen. Norris 1.1 behind Leclerc. There he is. Hamilton 8.5 seconds behind Norris. Piastri 5.5 seconds behind Hamilton. So Piastri, again, just kind of going nowhere back there. He really, really needs it, Piastri. I mean, he's got a nice little lead in the championship, but he cannot fuck around like this. If he misses many more podiums and Verstappen keeps winning, maybe the impossible job becomes very possible. We'll see. I mean, I was thinking there's no way that Norris and Piastri don't win at least one more race through the rest of the year, and that might be enough. Just that little point haul might be enough to keep them above Verstappen no matter what. But I mean, fuck, they don't really look like doing anything right now, do they? So about 19 laps to go. Albon hits the pits. Alonso back up to 10th. Liam Lawson 11th, 1.5 seconds behind Alonso, so watch out, Fernando. Antonelli going for a pass as well. Who was that on Gasly, I think? Looks like he's got it done. Good stuff. So the big thing here, can Norris get by Leclerc again? Now he's got 19 laps to do it. It took him 21 laps to do it last time. The thing is, Norris is on the faster softs, but Leclerc will have the mediums that will last a lot longer. And it's not just can Norris get by, but can he keep him by for the rest of the race. Now, the one thing Leclerc, not only has he got track position, and he's got the tyres that will last longer, but Lando's softs aren't going to last nearly as long if he cannot get by that Ferrari and get some clear air on the tyres. They're just going to melt behind the Ferrari. So he really, really desperately needs that shit to work out. Here we go, live championship position. So what's that? 17 points Piastri to Norris. A little bit further back for Max Verstappen. Black and white flag for Bortoletto for track limits. So Lando as well, really on the leash here as well. With track limits, absolutely cannot fuck around with it. Needs to make a slam dunk pass. Very, very wide there. Onto the back straight. So he's not going to do anything. I can't imagine this this lap. Black and white flag for Albon, track limits. Ooh. Nah, he's way too far behind Norris is to get the move done. Delicious. I mean, he's keeping close. He's keeping very close. What's surprising is actually Ferrari are genuinely running second and fourth here. They're doing very well. I mean, it's at the point where I wonder if they're going to get disqualified after the race. Being so quick and so competitive here. If it's just going to be like a replay of what happened in China. Oh, little correction there. Lando Norris into turn 1. So lap 39 now. Oh, there's Stroll on the inside of Lawson. Oh, Lawson's going to come back on him though. Nice little bit of give and take into turn 1 there between the Aston Martin and the Racing Bull. I tell you, Hadjar's kind of done nothing today, hasn't he? 17th. Crashed in qualifying yesterday. 17th today. Not a great weekend out of Isaac Hadjar. Liam Lawson running 11th is great for him right now, but he's certainly not going to be in with a shout for the Red Bull seat. Yuki Tsunoda running 7th. The problem for Yuki is Max Verstappen's running away at the front there and he's winning. The biggest thing with Red Bull is what exactly can they make next year? Will it be any kinder to the driver next year? I don't think it's any coincidence that I'll come back to that point. Either way, Verstappen is absolutely killing it at the frontier. I think this is it. To be honest, I think Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris will be the podium, unless we see something catastrophic out of anybody. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda. Maybe Hulkenberg can do something from there. Maybe. Behrman, we'll see if he can get that position back. I'd say really, Alonso, Lawson, Stroll, that's the battle to watch for the final point. It looks like everybody else is kind of gapping and kind of okay. Maybe we'll see what Albon can do. Oh, there he is. Albon right on cue, just past Gasly. Yeah, Norris saying the tyres are gone already. And there's just no time really left for Norris to pit again and do anything here. So, like I said, I like Leclerc's strategy, and it's going to fucking do him a really good favour here. Either that or Lando Norris is sending fake signals through the radio. Doing a bit of the Lewis Hamilton, my tyres are gone, and then just banging out fastest laps. Kimi accidentally black and white flag for track limits. There's a lot of that this weekend because there's most corners here have so much runoff on the outside. So Verstappen being told that Lando's having a hard time with the softs and to look after his own. Verstappen also has the youngest softs of all the front runners anyway, so I think it'll be fine. I mean, Lando really... I get the feeling, even if Lando can make a pass work, like right now, it's still going to... I could just see Leclerc coming back on him. This is what I was saying before. He needed to get past Leclerc to look after the tyres, and it's just not going to work, really. Oh, you're back, are you? Hello. Yeah. Not a great weekend for McLaren. Again, and you know what? There's been a couple of these lately. I mean, at the very least, both McLarens should finish this race, which is more than they did yesterday in the sprint. I tell you, Zach Brown was initially very hot, very heated about the sprint race crash, saying that it was amateur hour from the guys behind who clattered into Oscar Piastri, but he kind of backtracked on that once he actually saw a couple of replays and he saw that maybe Oscar had a little bit to do with it. Which, to be fair, is kind of how I kind of saw it that way. I thought, I mean, it was a racing incident. It was just one of those things that tends to happen at Turn 1 at COTA. The track is kind of designed to do that, to be honest. It is treacherous for 20 cars all barreling in there at the start of the race with cold brakes and cold tyres and being very heavy. And look at Lando Norris falling 2 seconds nearly behind Charles Leclerc. Fucking stick a fork in this one, boys. It's done. That would be Lando Norris's tyres crying out for a bit of clean air. Absolutely in tears. Saying, please, please don't push us anymore. We can't take it. Sorry, Lando. You've been Pirelli'd. Yeah, I think it's a racing incident, just one of those things yesterday. But I also kind of think... if we're portioning blame anywhere, maybe Piastri couldn't, maybe didn't have to cut from so wide across the apex of the corner. I mean, it probably would have been more prudent to assume that there's going to be a car on the inside of him off the start of the race, especially when he didn't have that great of a start anyway, but, too late to do anything about it now. These things happen. Two and a half seconds now. Leclerc to Norris. Yeah, this one's done. Okay, so lap 43 of 56. We've got 14 laps to go. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell. I'm just suddenly sliding a lot, says Verstappen. That's the softs. Now... 6.5 seconds Leclerc to Verstappen. There's just no way, surely. There is just no way, surely. But if Leclerc really wanted to put his foot down, assuming he's not already, if he really wanted to put his foot down, I can only imagine that Ferrari is so competitive because everyone's had to kind of raise the ride height to deal with the bumps here. Because generally Ferrari, we saw it in Singapore a couple of rounds ago. They're so obsessed with lift and coast into all of these corners to overwhelmingly to deal with the ride height issues that the Ferraris had all year. It just makes me wonder if Leclerc and Hamilton are going to end up getting disqualified at the end of this for plank wear. I mean, I hope for their sake that they won't. In fact, call me crazy. Didn't Leclerc and Hamilton both get disqualified from here? Was it 23, I think? I'm pretty sure that happened. Oh my goodness, so we've got chats. Keep thinking Ferrari free wing is flexing a lot on the straight. Shit, I'll have to keep a look at that. Wish F1 would go to Road America instead of this abomination. Fuck, man. F1 at Road America would be absolutely fantastic. F1 at Road America would be brilliant. The only thing I don't like is that they tend to neuter and ruin tracks that they go to. I mean, Koto isn't even that bad of a track. I've never quite vibed with it. It just looks sort of like a bit of a Frankenstein. Like, here's a bit of Hockenheim, here's a bit of Silverstone, here's a bit of Austria. You know, it's just, it looks like just random parts of other circuits just sort of shoved together. It's a bit of a fantasy track in that regard, but fuck, like Koto or Road America for me, 100%. What a track. What a track. Couldn't imagine how quick the Red Bull or the McLaren or what would be through the keyhole there. And down the back straight through the kinks. Oh god, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, Norris 2.5 seconds behind. Fuck this one. It's over. It's over, so better luck next time, McLaren. And I tell you, this is bad for McLaren as well. I think they were expecting to be a lot more competitive at Kota. That was one of their strength tracks for the rest of the year. They're going to come up with a third and a fifth. Not great. The speed's just almost gone. And it's not so much, I don't think it's so much for me. Oh. What is this? Ted Kravitz is talking just nonsense. What is this? Live Drivers' Championship. Oh yeah, we've seen this before. So 40 points it will be, Verstappen to Piastri. 40 points with 5 races and 2 sprints to go. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. He's taking 15 points out of Piastri today. Which means if this happens a couple more times, shit, by the time we get to Vegas, Verstappen could be taking the championship lead. Now, this could be really maybe an all-time choke out of both of the McLaren boys. I'll tell you, if Verstappen wins this championship, he would be the most deserving, and it would be the most deserving driver overcoming a lackluster car through most of the year since Fernando Alonso in 2012 when he didn't get it done. Oh, you're right there, mate. No. Now, what was I saying just before? It's surprising the Norris radio just slow. Don't have the grip when I'm close, yeah. Pace is really strong. The car feels shit. When the carcass gets cooler, we'll go and get Leclerc. So yeah, again, it's just the soft tyres screaming out for help. Ooh, that's a Racing Bulls having a look at Gasly. Not going to get it done this wrap. That's a shame. Yes. Yes, hello. I think the Red Bull definitely got quicker. Definitely got quicker. The new floor, the new bits that they put on that car, and, you know, all credit to them. They have absolutely... they've turned a sow's ear into a silk purse at Red Bull this year. They have fixed that car. It was around, Hungary? The Max Verstappen was saying he's probably not going to win again for the rest of the year. And now here he is, about to win yet another race. I mean, it also helps that Max Verstappen is the class of the field. It's a shame drivers like Leclerc and maybe Russell as well just don't quite have the car underneath them. No, probably Hamilton too. Don't quite have the car underneath them to really take it to Max. But, I mean, Max is just phenomenal, isn't he? Absolutely phenomenal driver. One of the very best I've ever seen. One of the very best I think that there's ever been. Best of all time is... I don't know if you really can fairly judge best of all time in a sport that changes so dramatically. It's not like soccer where the ball got better, dieting, nutrition and stuff got better, shoe technology and things got better, the turf got better. All of these things change, but fundamentally it's kind of the same. I mean, kind of fundamentally it's the same. It's racing here, but the danger involved, the cars, the speed, everything is so far removed from what it used to be. So I don't know if it's really fair to compare Verstappen with, say, Jackie Stewart or Juan Fangio or Jim Clark or something, but certainly, as far as the best of the century goes, Schumacher, Verstappen, Hamilton. I'm not sure who's... Alonso as well, of course. I'd say Verstappen is looking like probably the best of all of them, which is just... I never thought I'd see that. Oh, here's Hadjar having a go. That's going to be very tight. Very, very tight. Gasly keeps onto it. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, the Red Bull has definitely gotten faster, so well done to those guys. The Ferrari they've tried getting faster. It's worked today, but we'll see if they pass scrutineering. A mastermind by Ferrari as well, putting Leclerc on the soft. So I said it before the race, he's looking for a good start. He definitely got one. And it looks like it's just going to work out for him. But the McLarens... I don't think the car has gotten slower. I don't think they put anything on the car to make it slower. I don't think anybody, but maybe Red Bull, have put anything on the car that's made them dramatically quicker. I just wonder if Norris and Piastri are both feeling the pressure. Because it's been a few races in a row now where McLaren are just underperforming. It's been a few races in a row now where they haven't won. I don't know. To me, it looks like Norris is feeling the pressure. I think Piastri is really starting to feel the pressure now. I mean, once again, 5th place. Crashed in Baku. Didn't really have a great race in Singapore. Not having a great race here. And there was, of course, the papaya rules thing in Monza as well. I think the last time McLaren really looked absolutely flawless and unbeatable was probably Zandvoort. Oh, that's Hadjar again up the inside of Gasly. That's very, very close. Side by side. Oh, Gasly stays ahead. Hadjar's going to be seeing red at that. Not that it was particularly dirty, but because he's a little bit of a hothead. So Norris is coming back at Charles Leclerc. It was 2.5 seconds. Now it's 1.1. 7 laps to go. I think use everything that you got at this point. Norris is going to have to just punish these tyres for the next few laps, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, too bad. Hamilton 11.5 seconds behind, so unless something goes catastrophically wrong here, I'd say Norris is pretty safe on the podium. The big thing is Oscar Piastri is now 18 seconds behind Lando Norris. That's dog shit. That's not good. That's really, really not good. They've had basically the same strategy. I know Piastri started a few positions back, but that's because his qualifying wasn't great either. That's not good. It's really not good. Yeah, the Ferrari rear wing is moving quite a lot on the straight. It's just the bumps at this track. It's so bumpy that it just shakes the whole car almost apart. Let me just look at the thing. It's like racing in an earthquake or something. Who was it? Last year or the year before, I think. I think it was an Alpine that was running a really loose rear wing in Canada. I wonder if they're just doing that to help the rear wing naturally flex itself down and make the car a little bit quicker on the straights. I mean, the planes of the wing The rear wing planes are only meant to flex a little bit, but the rear wing assembly itself, I imagine if you can get that whole thing to flex down on the straights. I wonder if that's a little bit of a loophole there. An aerodynamic loophole that can be exploited. Norris 0.7 seconds. We could see him here. He is very, very quick. He's just going for it here. And he's really going to have to. This could make or break. This really could make or break. And it's not so much, I think, keeping ahead of Verstappen. Although that definitely helps, getting 3 more points for him. But getting 3 more points chasing Piastri. If he can catch up by 8 instead of by 5, that helps Norris as well. I'm not going to get it done this lap. What Norris has to do, he cannot fuck around. Like I was saying before, how he tends to do the same move over and over and it never works, or very rarely it works. He's going to have to send it up the inside. Absolutely send it, or else it's just not going to happen. Just looking down the grid, apart from the Gasly Hadjar, maybe Ocon Albon, and this battle we're watching right here, Leclerc and Norris, looks like everybody else has kind of settled into... starting to settle into their finishing positions with 5 laps to go. Here's Norris sending it to the inside. There it is. Oh, Leclerc comes back at him though. Charles Leclerc has done that many times over the years. We were doing that against Verstappen at Bahrain in 2022. That was classic Charles Leclerc there. Open the door and then come right back in on him. He's a canny racer, Charles Leclerc. I like it. Naturally quick and good at playing with where his car is. He's good at doing moves like that. God, what I wouldn't give to see Leclerc in a more competitive car. Here's Lando. He is close. He's close. He is very close. Now Leclerc's probably going to cover the inside. Lando's going to have to just stick it to the inside, and there he goes. And he gets it done. And he gets it done. Lando Norris gets it done. Now those tyres are going to be absolutely punished after all of that. So we'll see if he can stay ahead. Only 5 laps to go here. Only 5 laps to go. Can it be done? Can it be done? Leclerc is definitely hanging with him here. I get the feeling if he can stay ahead for a lap or 2, he can probably break. Yeah, Leclerc radio, keep the pressure on. He has 3 strikes. The thing is, if Leclerc forces Lando Norris off the track here, that's not really going to count for track limits. If Norris goes off by himself, that will definitely count for track limits. If Leclerc throws one at the inside and chucks Lando off the road, then McLaren can argue that, and it won't count. It's a decent pass there as well. And again, Leclerc goes to the inside. Leclerc to the inside at turn 12, and Norris this time just sticking it even further inside. That's what she said. And then getting it. And look at that, 1.3 seconds Norris to Leclerc. My goodness, he's actually going to get it done. 1.6 seconds. I think Lando might just be safe. 1.7. Lando, that was crucial. Absolutely crucial. Monday morning gloom in Melbourne. Yeah, it's pissing down outside actually. Now here's Isaac Hadjar. Close to the Alpine. Onto the back straight. I can imagine he's going to get by here. Surely he's going to get by here. Yeah, easy peasy. Good stuff. Let's try one more shot of live timing, shall we? It's definitely not lap 36. It is lap 53. Ah, look at that. It's actually kind of back. How about that? You know what? I might even be able to... Look at that. We're back. Lap 53. How about that? Lap 53 of 56. 3 to go. Leclerc 3.2 seconds behind. Wow, it's done. So Lando, good work. Good bloody work. You just got to wonder if he'd been able to make that pass stick a little bit earlier in the race, could he have done anything about Max Verstappen? I do wonder. And with only a few laps to go, I think it's prudent to bring up the only other story really through the week that was breaking was Hamilton and Leclerc both becoming privately, and I think maybe leaking on purpose now, to the media, quite upset at Ferrari. Hamilton feels like he's being ignored there. Ooh, Alpine's going at it. Uh-oh. This is a nice little battle right to the end. Verstappen coming up to lap these lads. I know we had a safety car at the start. Well, near the start. Oh, there you go, mate. Safety car near the start for Sainz, and a virtual safety car as well, but it's surprising nobody's had a lap put on them yet. There's 3 laps to go. We'll see if Max Verstappen can dump a lap on any of these guys. Probably will, to be honest, but it's very surprising. It shows just how generally competitive F1 is nowadays. You don't have cars finishing 4 or 5 laps off the pace on merit like you did, say, 15 years ago. Oh, Colapinto being told to hold position. Colapinto told to hold positions. Colapinto incredulous about that, saying, but he's slow. He is slow, yes. He's slow right now, but he was quicker all weekend, so, you know, there is that. I mean, pardon me, if you're fighting for 17th and 18th, I don't think it really... I mean, unless they're terrified that there might be collision damage or something going on here. Oh, there's Max. Right behind these guys. Looks like Bortoletto's going to let him through here. Yes, he does. Oh, Colapinto's going for it after being told to hold position side by side. And Gasly behind Colapinto now. I kind of like that out of Franco. It's a little bit bitey. I'm sure Alpine aren't going to like it. They're really not going to like it. But Colapinto's going to fight his corner and just say, yo, I could get it done. I wanted to get it done and I was going to get it done. So that's all there is to it. It's just a replay. Yeah, Colapinto. Oh, that's very close. Very close. I think that how close the cars are is going to be what Alpine don't like seeing there more than anything. Oh, that's very close between those cars. Well, can't exactly blame Franco for that. Shabuzi. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm completely out of touch. Completely and utterly out of touch here. So, lap 55 of 56. I'm just going to get the point out quickly. Ferrari potentially playing with fire here. Leclerc, from what I hear, is getting very bored, very upset with Ferrari just constantly making the same mistakes over and over and over. Never quite getting where they need to be. And to be fair, Leclerc's been there for years now and they've never given him a car that can fight out and out for a championship from start to finish through the year. Bortoletto looking at Gasly here as Max Verstappen starts the final lap. No way through for the Sauber yet, but they're going to go side by side through turn 2. Oh, that's very close. Oh, very close. And then Bortoletto comes ahead. Hamilton has, for the second time, made a dossier, kind of a list of not demands but suggestions, like you need to do this, you need to get these practices done, I'm seeing these problems in the team, a white letter kind of thing, what Dan Gurney used to do in kart. And Ferrari, from what I hear, are just completely ignoring him. And Hamilton's becoming very frustrated with it. He feels like he's not being listened to there. He's wondering why he was brought into the team if they're not going to do what he's suggesting. It sounds like Ferrari's got a lot of problems with its drivers, to be honest. And, well, this is going to be good for them. 3rd and 4th is great for Ferrari today, but they were never fighting for the win, and they still have not got a win this year. So that's not great. Could be a long old stint ahead for Ferrari, actually, unless they come out next year and absolutely nail these rules, the new package, the new engine, all of that stuff. I think potentially Leclerc, Hamilton, one, maybe both, could be looking to leave. We'll see. Either way, Max Verstappen around the final corner wins. That's it. Max Verstappen once again Formula 1 winner. Lando Norris 2nd place. Well done, Lando. Charles Leclerc, 7.5 seconds in the end, behind in 3rd place. Piastri, 1.4 seconds behind Hamilton. It's not going to make it. Hamilton around the final corner. Easy peasy. Easy. Yeah, Hamilton 4th. Piastri 5th. That'll be Russell in 6th place. There he goes. Yuki Tsunoda will be 7th. In a few seconds' time. So at the end, Colapinto, Bortoletto, Gasly, the only cars lapped, and that was only right at the end too. Antonelli with the fastest lap. How about that? Tsunoda will finish 7th. Hulkenberg 8th. Behrman 9th, and Alonso with the final point in 10th. So, you know what? Decent points for Hulkenberg. That's been, apart from the sprint race yesterday where it all went completely wrong, it's been a pretty okay weekend for Nico Hulkenberg. It's a little bit... 8th place today is worth more than 8th place yesterday as well, so... He's finished 8th on the right day. Of course, he didn't finish 8th at all yesterday, did he? Didn't finish. Or did he finish? He was just down. I can't recall. Either way, that's it. That's the US Grand Prix done. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, 1, 2, 3. Another impressive weekend, Max. Extremely well done. Enjoy the celebrations. I'll see you in Mexico. Indeed. Yep. Max sounds very happy, is very happy, should be very happy. Flawless out of Max this weekend. Absolutely fantastic. Pole and win in the sprint. Pole and win today. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Not a Grand Slam, of course, because Antonelli looks like he nailed the fastest lap at the end there. All right. Cool. All right. Well, that was okay. What are we thinking? Mildly interesting. Interesting enough, at the very least, to get me out of bed at this ungodly hour. Oh, so, I mean, very interesting for the championship. I think Norris did basically damage limitation. After turn 1, I think it was clear that it was only ever going to be damage limitation today. Not a genuine go at the win. It's just a shame. It's a shame for Lando, because I think if he could have got pole, the pace was there. If he was on pole, I think he could have got the win, but it didn't work out that way. You know, that's the way it goes. You know, you got to nail it. You got to win. You got to win on merit, and it didn't get it done today. So maybe next time out in Mexico, it'll be a little bit better. Mexico next week as well, which I'll be back here as well, commentating, talking along, just singing about what he sees. There's Max Verstappen parking in the number 1 at Park for May. Good stuff. Flawless out of Max. So let's wrap this up soon. Verstappen, flawless, absolutely fucking flawless. Needs it for the championship. Maybe not that of an impossible job anymore. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. I was convinced that Piastri and McLaren would be a lot more competitive than they have been the last few races, and they're just not getting it done. Max out of his car. Yeah, loving it. Absolutely loving it. Aren't we all? Yeah, Max flawless. If he keeps this up, it's not impossible. Number 5 in a row is definitely not impossible, which is incredible. Because I mean, after Spain, after the middle of the year, totally written him off. Completely written him off. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Either way, Verstappen, Norris second, again, damage limitation. Could have been different if he got pole, but he didn't. Could have been different if he nailed the start, but he didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. Kind of the story of Lando Norris this year. Definitely could have... I mean, championship's not over. He could still be champion, you never know, but... It's not looking 100% great for Lando Norris, is it? It's definitely going to need to bounce back, and he needs to bounce back in Mexico. Not just Mexico, but for the rest of the year. Cannot have any more... I mean, I get the feeling if he can get a win or two, and he should be able to, if he can get a win or two before the end of the year, then he's a lot more set for the championship. If he can't get that win for the rest of the year, I think Max Verstappen... I think maybe he could get it done after all. Charles Leclerc third, Lewis Hamilton fourth. Decent weekend out of Ferrari. Great race out of Charles Leclerc. Decent race out of Hamilton. We'll see if that quells any of the Ferrari negativity lately. I mean, third and fourth, it's not exactly a first and second, so I doubt they'll be that stoked about it. I mean, Hamilton's been around for long enough. I don't think a fourth place will get him excited anymore. And Charles Leclerc wants to win. He doesn't want to finish third. And honestly, 7.5 seconds behind Lando Norris at the end after being in front of him for a lot of the race, it's going to hurt. Piastri fifth. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Didn't look on it all weekend, really. It looked well beaten. Looked beaten yesterday in the sprint before turn 1 even happened. And just didn't get it done. Fifth place isn't good. It's not great. Not in that car. And he just never really looked like he was going anywhere. I mean, kind of hassled Hamilton at the end, only kind of, but that's really all he did the entire race. So, not great. George Russell 6th, poor start, kind of just mired him there, and then that was the end of George Russell. Today, Mercedes, not really on it today. Another form swing. They're a weird bunch, that Mercedes. They're weird. Some races they're absolutely there, other races totally missing, so strange out of him. Tsunoda 7th, good for him. Decent points, good for him. Didn't really ever look like he was on par with Max Verstappen this weekend. If he'd started in the top 10, maybe he could have done something, though I kind of doubt it. So it looks like that's probably the most that he could have got out of today. Hulkenberg in 8th, great points for Hulk and great points for Sauber. Behrman 9th, unlucky with the spin. Could have been 7th, ended up 9th. You know, that happens. Part of the learning curve, I guess. He's still a rookie after all. And Fernando Alonso 10th. Again, there's not a whole lot more Aston Martin I think really could have achieved today or this season, really. They only ever seem kind of around as competitive as they need to be. Still without a podium as well this year, Aston Martin. Lawson 11th, Stroll, Antonelli. Very unlucky Antonelli. Could have been decent points. Could have been 7th place. But for the contact at the start of the race. And Albon kind of on a hiding to nothing. Decent pace out of Albon, but just couldn't really do anything. Ocon, Hadjar, Colapinto, Bortoletto, Gasly. I mean, at least they got to race back there, you know, passing and repassing around the end. In fact, kind of the most of the action was from 11th and below today, wasn't it? And then Carlos Sainz, obviously, didn't do much, clattering into Kimi Antonelli and then retiring almost on the spot. So that's a shame. Oh well, better luck next time, Carlos. Anyway, I think that's a good time to wave the checkers on this one. Thank you very much for watching along, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you do. Lando Norris looks chuffed. I think he looks relieved more than anything. Mexico next week. Should be fun. Should be a fun race. We'll see. The impossible job might not be impossible after all. If this result repeats next week, well, Piastri's going to have a lot to worry about. A lot to worry about. I think Norris will have a lot to worry about as well, to be honest. Could it fall apart? Could this be not just a choke for McLaren, but could this be a monumental comeback for Verstappen? If anybody could get it done, if anyone could get it done, it's going to be Max. So, well, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will be back next week, and I hope you'll stay good until then. See you next time.